What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Today we are playing the third and final game in this three-match series against Australia. And this series hasn't really gone well for us whatsoever. We've been humbled in the first two games, lost by 8 wickets and lost by 8 wickets. We are changing it up a little bit here today. We are bowling first, so it gives us a chance to chase, which hopefully we can go and get the job done. But I'm not holding my breath. We will have to wait and see what happens. So we've got off to a good start here. We've had 2 dot balls in a row, and we have come in quite late on in the innings, which is something that we don't see quite often. You know, normally we are a guy who is going to bowl with the new ball, hopefully try and be very productive with the new ball and get those early wickets, build that early pressure, but not the case today. Coming in the 19th/20th over, and bowling to Warner, surprisingly, who was 15 off 54. How often that has happened in his one-day international career, I do not know. For him to be striking that low is very, very strange. Normally a very aggressive player, a very aggressive hitter as well. But apart from that, nothing really happening in this career mode. Nothing, again, happening in the world of international cricket. We do have a test match, which is coming up, I believe, starting Thursday. New Zealand taking on India over there in India. And a few injury concerns for the Black Caps. Tim Southee, I believe, has been ruled out of the 3 test matches due to injury. So it'll be interesting to see what the makeup of the side is going to be with him out. A lot of people saying that his form over, I guess, the last 12 months hasn't really warranted his selection. And, you know, I would potentially agree. Playing in India, obviously, you are going to go for a lot of spinners. Santner, for me, is definitely going to play. He's probably going to bat at number 7. And then I think Ish Sodhi as well probably have the 2... I guess 2 frontline spinners, you would say, and then just see where you go from there. I think potentially Mark Craig may play, depending on the surface. We may go for the 3 spinners, and then have someone like Jimmy Neesham playing as well, who's going to contribute with both bat and ball, and then possibly Wags and Trent Boult in the side as well. But it'll be interesting to see the makeup. It also does make it interesting because they have had a warm-up game. I think it has finished now. But Ronke opened, I believe, in the second innings and scored 100. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that. In terms of selection, I don't think BJ Watling is going to be dropped. He's been a consistent performer for us. You know, his whole test career, his whole international career, very rarely has a bad game, either with the bat or behind the stumps. Normally very, very good, very solid in both those aspects. So it'll be hard to try and find a spot for Ronke where he's going to bat. It is going to be very tough. So it will be interesting come Thursday afternoon, New Zealand time, to see the makeup of the side that they do go with. I think Santner and Sodhi definitely, and then, as I said, possibly Jimmy Neesham in the side, just to bolster up a little bit of batting, I guess, because you are going to need that against a good Indian bowling attack in their own conditions. So it will be very interesting. See if he's in there. Tim Southee obviously out. I think Trent Boult is a given. And Neil Wagner, I think he has really evolved into probably one of our best test bowlers, I'd have to say, over the past 12 to 18 months. When he first came into the side, you know, there was a lot of hype about him that he's going to bowl quick. He's going to bowl 140, 145. His speed did decrease a little bit throughout the season. I think now he still gets it up around 140, but that is his effort ball. Most of the time he's around that 130, 135 region. But I think just the aggression that he bowls with, it really does give you something different compared to Tim Southee and Trent Boult when they play. Obviously, big swing and seam bowlers work on that, whereas whereas Wagner, I should say, more of a guy who's going to come in and be aggressive and look to try and, you know, get those wickets by different means, pitching it in a bit short and intimidating the batsman. But that's that, and I don't really have anything else to talk about. I don't know what else is going on. I know England touring Bangladesh. I believe we've spoken about that previously. Morgan, obviously, he and I think Joe Root have been rested. No, sorry, Morgan didn't want to go. He didn't want to go. Joe Root, I believe, has been rested from all forms. And there's quite a few young, new faces in both the one-day and the test squad, I believe, for the English. It'll be interesting to see how a few of them go. You know, tours like this and tours like New Zealand had not too long ago to Zimbabwe, you know, they are a perfect opportunity. Obviously, still international sides, but it's a perfect opportunity to try and blood some young players. And just see how they go, you know, on the international stage. It is still a step up. from domestic cricket to international cricket. Not as much as going and possibly playing your test debut in Australia against Australia, or India against India, or even South Africa and South Africa, or even England and England. It's going over there. It's just that next tier down, I guess you would say. It gives, I guess, a little bit more of an opportunity not to be intimidated and to try and stamp your mark on the side. So Australia, they're moving along nicely here. We haven't really done, I'd have to say, too much with the ball. We've just really slowed it up and not given them an opportunity to hit. We have only gone for 9 so far, so we're really starting to peg the run rate back. And as we can see, current run rate is only 4.25. So we just need to, as I said, keep that going. And either hope that ourselves or someone else down the other end does go and pick up some wickets, because I think now we have bowled about 4 overs on the trot and only gone for those 10 runs. So that is definitely very good. We just need the guys down the other end to go and pick ourselves up the wickets, because that's not something we are really renowned for nowadays. More of the guy who is going to go around and be economical for you. So here's an opportunity for a run out at the bowler's end, but the batsman getting there quite comfortably in the end. And Warner is still hanging in there. Very surprising. He seems to me the kind of guy with his temperament that if he was in a situation like this, 25 off 73, that he would be now just trying to hit out and basically, not be a nuisance to his side, because he is striking very, very slowly. But at least he's gone and he's hung in there, and it gives you a good opportunity, I guess, to catch up and make up time towards the back end of an innings, which I think, the best one-day international batsmen, they can do that. They can start off slow and then obviously accelerate towards the end. AB de Villiers is one that comes to mind brilliantly. He's a guy who, if he goes and gets his eye in, he can go and just absolutely crunch it to all areas of the ground, not just in one place, but can just score incredibly, incredibly quick, just boundaries every ball, and can get both that run rate and that strike rate up very, very quick. 100 partnership up for these two as well, and very surprising, as I said, that Warner has only contributed 25 of those, but he must have heard me. He must have heard about hitting out, because he's gone and done that. He's hit, I believe, his first 6 of the day, first 6 off us as well, and that does sour the over just a little bit. Compared to how it was going. But McCullum, he has come in and he has got David Warner. Clark went on to make 100, but now we're coming in at a fairly interesting stage. Just 3 overs left for us, 6 overs left in the innings, and 5 for 209. So you wouldn't say that Australia are on top at this stage by any stretch of the imagination, and we are just going to have to bowl well. I think actually Clarkie's still in down the other end, so I do apologise about that. Yeah, he is. 134 off 125 deliveries, so just need to make sure that we can try and dot up as much as possible in these last 6 overs that we're bowling, and hopefully we're not going to be chasing anything over 250, because that will still give us a very good chance of making it. Direct hit, and I think he's gone, and Michael Clark taking a silly run, taking on the fielder, and it hasn't worked out for him, but a very well played 134 off 127 by the Australian skipper, and he has put his side into a very good position. But just like that, that 1 wicket could potentially go and change this game greatly. We've seen Clark, the set batsman, he is gone. The 2 new batsmen, obviously Haddon and Faulkner, have only faced 2 balls between them. But Haddon, he's not mucking around. That one's on the hips. He's gone and just played it away with relative ease, and he moves on to 6 off 3. So I'm guessing with this score, unless our top order really gets their A into G and get some runs on the board, which is something that does not happen in this career mode, then we will be required to bat in the second innings. So hopefully we will get a good opportunity to go and do that. That was very wide. Had that been left, probably was going to be a wide. Haddon cashes in again, picks up his second boundary of the over, and at the end of the day, quite an expensive one there. After saying we needed to dot up, going for 11. We did, however, get that wicket of Michael Clark. That is key, but it could potentially be too little too late, especially with the way Haddon is playing at the moment. So we're just going to keep going. I'm going to chuck in some Yorkers in this last over, just as I said, to try and dot it up. We want to keep it under 250 if we can, just to make things, I guess, easier on ourselves when it comes to chasing. And I think, Yorkers are the best way to do that. If you can get it right, probably still the most effective ball going around in limited overs cricket today. I mean, a perfect Yorker, there isn't really too much you can do with it. Block it out, possibly get one, get an inside edge, get an outside edge, possibly can go for 4. But, the chances of it being a high-scoring well, I guess the chances of it being high scoring are high risk, if you go and try and ramp it, try and, I guess, dill scoop it, shall we say, then, you are asking for trouble. If it is straight and if it's full, then it is either going to be bowled, it's going to be LBW. So this is a better over, banging in these Yorkers. We've gone for 4 dot balls on the trot. Make that 5, as that has been hit out, I guess, to extra cover. And this is exactly what we needed. Dotting up Faulkner, he is now 4 off 9. We've gone for 5 dot balls in the over to date, and it has just been chipped out there to that man who is fielding at mid-off. So unfortunate that it wasn't a little bit straighter. Only the one off the over, though. We will definitely go and take that there, and that moves Australia on to 6 for 224. And I think the rain has just set in, so very surprising. We aren't going to bowl all our overs. But as I said, we may potentially get a bat here today. I think we're chasing again around 250. So I think we're about halfway there. But the rain is coming down quite heavily now, and we are going to need a lot more than an average of just under 16 from Cliff here today, with 131 needed off just 18.2 overs. So we are going to have to get our A into G, and I think even in this situation here, we are well behind the Duckworth-Lewis. So I think we need to go out. And as we can see, we are actually coming off now due to the rain. So the match has been stopped due to the rain. It is still coming down quite heavily, and the game has been adjusted to now just 42 overs. We are still having that heavy downpour. The target has been reduced slightly, but that's a good over coming off Maxwell. He did pick up a wicket, however, but we have taken him for 3 boundaries, also 2 boundaries and a 6. So far, and coming off again because of the rain. I don't understand that. We've gone on for 1 over, and now they're like, nah, you know what, we are going to go and just finish things off. But as we can see, the Duckworth-Lewis has been changed to 220. We have lost 8 overs in our chasing innings, which is hard, but 220, I think that leaves us about... It leaves us about 100 runs left. So we need 100 runs off the last 10, which isn't impossible. Off the last 11. Which isn't impossible. You see that quite often in one-day internationals. That's where teams, I guess, really aim for, is to get 100 off that last 10. And we are going to try and sneak back here for the 3, which is very good running, actually. And we've taken Doherty for 7 off his first 2 balls of this over. And we just need Corey Anderson to try and, I guess, batter some players as well. We've got a big, a big gap, a big hole down the ground, and we are going to go and exploit that as we get a full toss, nice juicy full toss from Doherty. We move on to 16 off 5, New Zealand 5 for 134 with 10 overs left to go. I think 80 runs needed. No, 90 runs. I'm not sure. My maths isn't working today. 84 needed off 52 anyway, and we still do have that big hole down the ground. So we are going to try and exploit that if we can. That one there probably needed to go a little bit more towards cover. It was quicker, it was fuller, and just couldn't get underneath it, thankfully, because otherwise we could have been looking at a wicket. But we'll continue on. And that is just what I'm talking about. It was quicker again, wider. We've tried to play it down the ground. We've played to our average. We've got 16 off 7, but not what was needed in the situation. Still plenty of time left to bat, and hopefully the tail can go and sort it out for us. Hopefully they can manage to somehow pick up the win, salvage a win. Otherwise, it is going to be Australia taking a 3-0 series win. They obviously pick up the series because they were up 2-0 heading into this game, but they have won the 3rd and final game by 23 runs as well. Funny enough, 23 runs. Michael Clark, man of the match, 134 off 127. Also wears a number 23 on the back of his shirt. Illuminati confirmed, you be the judge. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter. Links to that can be found down below in the description. Hope you're having a good week so far. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We've got more Rugby Challenge 3. Crusaders Career Mode. We will be reviewing the Mitre 10 Cup from this round. Make sure you do not miss that.